Hi, welcome to Astrology for GAN Traders. My name's Olga Morales. Now, I've just woken up. I'm still having my coffee. I started looking at this last night when I heard about the Baltimore bridge collapse, and I'm sending my condolences to all those people that have been impacted by this. Um, but astrologically, when I looked at it, it has an amazing pattern and alignment that I really felt that I needed to share this video. It's a lot easier for me to explain what I see rather than just putting it a post on Twitter or Facebook or wherever. So let's get started. Um, the first chart is to do with the lunar eclipse. If you watch my previous videos, I mentioned that because I was worried about eclipse because specifically because it was making an eighth harmonic to the planet Uranus, which is known to cause collapses. I was thinking more quick earthquakes, which obviously can still happen, but other things can collapse as well, and it sends shock waves. Okay, so and here this chart here, what I want to point out, what I've done is I've relocated the lunar eclipse to Baltimore. Okay, and you can see that the midpoint between the south node, and the moon. So we've got lunar eclipse happening here in the nodes. You can see the nodes are at 15 and the moon's at 5. So their midpoint is 10 degrees of Libra, the moon and the south node, and the sun and the north node at 10 degrees of Aries. So that's easy to see. That's an easy midpoint. But look at the axis of the ascendant and descendant. They are also at 10 degrees. So 10 degrees of Capricorn and 10 degrees of Cancer. Okay, so that is a square, like a massive grand square, okay, at that 10 degrees of cardinal. So that already is giving me something to look at. The part of fortune in this respect obviously comes to the descendant, because the part of fortune, the calculation for the part of fortune is the angle, the separation between the sun and moon projected from the ascendant. But because it's a full moon, which is 180 degrees, it's always going to be on the descendant. But the degree is interesting too, because it's 10 degrees of Cancer. Everything's 10. So just remember that number, 10. Okay, next slide. When I put this on the solar maps, you can see that the moon node midpoint is right on the descendant. DS means descendant, right, going right through Baltimore. Okay, so this is putting us into that location exactly. So again, this is what when I saw it, I said this is truly an amazing alignment. So what I've done here, I've got both the charts of the lunar eclipse, okay, and then the actual timing of the event, which is I saw reported as 1:30 a.m. You can look at the actual degree on the midheaven. You can see that it's 10 degrees of Libra, and the fourth house cusp is 10 degrees of Aries. Now, anytime you look at mundane events, the fourth house cusp is to do with the land. This is where we project things for the people, and the top is actually location. And when you're doing mundane, this is more to do with the government and people in authority, but it's also the location. This is our longitude, okay? So here we have this degree, 10 degrees of Aries, exactly the midpoint that we were looking at of the nodes, the sun and the nodes, exactly on that midpoint, okay? Now, when we put that on the 90-degree dial, which is the best thing ever invented, in my opinion, we can see them all line up, because I've got the pointer on it at 10 degrees of cardinal. This first section is the cardinal section. Okay, so you can clearly see that's a lunar eclipse there at 5 degrees. The node's at 15, and they've come to the middle, which is 10 degrees. Okay, there's a part of fortune and the ascendant of the lunar eclipse. And then at the timing of the bridge collapse, the MC of that event was exactly at that 10 degrees. But look at the midpoints it's picking up as well. We've got Mercury, Neptune. Neptune, as we know, is in Pisces at the moment. So this is the tanker movie in the seas. Mercury is in Mars at the moment. It's in its shadow. It's not quite retrograde at the moment, but it's in its shadow period in Aries. So there's an element of Mars energy as well. And then we have, obviously, when there's accidents, there's a Mars a Mars Uranus, which is, if you look at it, and that's accidents, okay? So sudden things that happen, sudden accidents. And so that's all lined up with the eclipse at the location. This is what my type of research involves. So could I have predicted this? Yes. If I was looking at every single place this happens at, but I'm not looking at every specific area, but if you wanted to, in terms of where you live, you can see there's alignments. Is this going to have an impact on my location? You can do this type of research. And I find it really, really amazing that these alignments on exact degrees, um, how this occurs. And sometimes I think we live in a simulation. I don't know because it's so exact. There's someone pressing buttons or it's AI. It almost becomes like an AI environment. Anyway, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed that. If it is a bit, might have been a little bit tricky for people that are starting out, but this is the fascinating things that we can do with astrology. So thanks for listening. I'll finish my coffee now.